Welcome to New Hampshire Politics with John Burt. I'm John Burt. I want to thank you for joining me today. And today I got I got 4 videos, but 3 of them are going to be at the beginning, and then I have, what else do I have coming up? One of the videos you aren't going to like, but I want to put it on here because it just was released today, so it'll be, a couple days old the time this airs. News, but just in case you didn't hear about it. And I mean, I'll talk more about it when I show that video. But there's one video that I'm going to close the show with. So I'm going to say that I'm done, and then I'm going to air this one video. And I'll tell you, I can't watch it without, I hate to admit it, but being a 56-year-old man, but I'll tell you, this video chokes me up. What a 4-year-old little girl does to this, and they didn't know each other. To this, I think he was 86 years old. He just lost his wife. Wait till you see this video. And like I said, I'll show it at the end. I mean, I guess what I think of is, when I get to that age and, if I leave first or my wife leaves, what the other one's going to do. And it really has a happy ending, you'll see. And I just wanted to show it to you because not everything is doom and gloom as sometimes I portray it. And then also toward the end of the show, I have quite a few videos that pictures that I took. And, I wanted to just show those because they're kind of a fun pictures. So I'll start with video 1. And this is the one that you're probably not going to like, and I'm sure you've already heard about it because it's going to be in all the newspapers, starting tomorrow, the day after I tape this. But I just heard about it, and let me find video 1. It's right here. Here it goes.
Trump advisor Kellyanne Conway was on another network, and she explained that the president-elect does not plan to pursue new charges against Hillary Clinton for the emails or against Hillary Clinton in the context of allegations of pay for play at the Clinton Foundation, because she says Hillary Clinton right now is coming to realize after losing the election that the American people just did not want her as president because they did not find her as trustworthy. So if the president-elect Trump could help her heal, then he's going to do that. She also said that right now, talking about locking Hillary Clinton up is more of a campaign-sounding theme, and that's not what they're trying to do. They're obviously trying to put together a cabinet. That's what we've been watching here on Fifth Avenue outside Trump Tower for the last few days. But you talk about this decision not to pursue charges. That is a big change from the campaign, not only at the debate where Donald Trump said that if he was president, he would put Hillary Clinton in jail, but also I went to dozens of Trump rallies over the last few months, and the big rallying cry at many of them was when his supporters would chant, lock her up, lock her up. Many different cities, swing states, not swing states, wherever he went, that was something that really got his supporters excited, and it is something now that it does not sound is going to happen, at least not for anything that she did in the past.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Bottom line, I knew this was going to happen. I don't know if I ever talked about it prior, but for some reason, they just don't prosecute these high-profile people like this, like Hillary Clinton. And I mean, I really think she did wrong. And I understand why they don't, because they have, the Democrat side, they'll stroke even more that they lost. And, they're throwing these little hissy fits that they're doing now. And, I just don't understand, they're thinking of this. But, I guess I'll respect his decision, not liking it, because if she did wrong, just like you and I, we would be sitting in jail a long time ago. But, whatever, if she did any wrong. But they said, bottom line, that if Trump was going to pursue it, Obama would have pardoned her at the end. Matter of fact, I think Jesse Jackson even requested that, that Reverend Jesse Jackson that causes all the trouble with the black people. And, he keeps everything turmoil. And so, what do I say? I guess we just got to move on. Hopefully, just like they're supposed to. And I just look at it as, the way it is. So she gets a free ride with a lot of money. I wonder what all those donors, I heard some of those donors gave her $30-40 million. I wonder what they're thinking right now. Hey, I'm glad. Good for them. The next video, again, we didn't do this. Republicans, conservatives, libertarians, when we lost and Obama won, we didn't do this bad behavior of these riots and everything else. And let me find video 2 about New York Fire Department. And again, you're probably not, I wasn't happy when I saw this, but I think they're going to resolve this. I don't think they're going to keep this, but here's the video. It's a real short one. Here it is.
Get ready for this. Firefighters in New York City have been ordered not to hang photos of President-elect Donald Trump in firehouses or on their trucks. The ban triggered apparently after the fire department received complaints about a Trump mask on a fire truck. Several firefighters, speaking anonymously to the New York Post, they say they're outraged over that order. The firefighters say pictures of President George W. Bush and President Obama have both hung in firehouses without protest.
Yeah, so what do you think about that? Again, there's a few people out there complaining. Well, there's a lot of people complaining that Hillary lost. And now they're going to start throwing these fits. Oh, no, we aren't going to put any pictures of Trump up. Well, bottom line, he's our president. I've been in a lot of buildings and walked by and go, yeah, that's our president. When I'm looking at Obama, I was in federal court there over that Jerry DeLamus situation. They got pictures of Obama all over the place. And they should. He's our president. And now that Donald Trump is our president, they should. Again, it's the president. It's not the person. Few people, I had even a few Facebook people that said, they hope, something happens to Obama. And I was like, no. Matter of fact, I unfriended him because we don't need that talk. I don't like his policies, but I wish him no ill. Let's get through the 4 years, 8 years, sadly, we had to go put up with him. Let's get him out of office, and hopefully Trump's going to change some stuff. That is the real way that we should be doing it. People saying, let's assassinate, Trump and let's kill him and all this other stuff. We can't have that in this country. There's days I vote for losers. And you know what? I don't like it for 4 years or 8 years or whatever it is. But life goes on. We have to be above it. Hey, just like up to the State House. Did you know, I think I've said it a bunch of times, with Governor Sununu in the corner office, yes, John Burt is happy because all we have to do is get a majority. 201 votes and 13 over in the Senate. It'll go right to Governor Sununu, and chances are he's not going to veto a lot of our stuff. So I think that's going to be a good thing. They're saying a lot of good reforms coming up, and that's what I want. Let me bring up the last video before not the last, but like I said, there's that video of that little 4-year-old girl. Wait till you see that. It just, again, you better have some tissues next to you because it is a great, wholesome, video of really what life is. And when I saw that, there's hope, there's a reason for us to be here. And she really points it out. But this next video is kind of comical, and I feel sorry for these people, but again, I got to show it. So let me show number 3 video of Hillary supporters on NBC News. Here it is. What do you think about that? What is our nation, what are we raising? I just, and there was one lady, she probably close to my age. I'm just thinking, again, I want to go back to, when McCain lost and Obama won. I knew there wasn't going to be good for the United States, but you just move on. I put my head down, went, I had a little sad face, but I didn't shed tears. But what are we raising with these kids under 30 years old? You can't say no to them. I talked to some of my good friends at the Hillsborough County Nursing Home the other day, and we got talking about that, about the respect we had toward our parents and stuff. When my mother said something, most of the time I did it. and what was funny is I told one of them, she's really a nice lady, and she was born in 1920. She's seen some great things, and she was telling me how blessed she was, and I was telling her how blessed I am, like about having my wife and, just being allowed to be your state rep and some other stuff. I just got a great life right now, and I've always looked at the positive side of everything, and I look at these videos here and I go, what is going on with these kids today? We got to toughen them up more. Because when I have defeat, I brush it off and I move forward and I try to fix it. But I mean, these, they're probably all in therapy and everything else. And I'm like, it's over the presidency. It's not, it's a big deal. Things change, like for me, with Trump being in there, the Supreme Court, that's what I was after. And I believe he's going to pick great Supreme Court justices. But I just look at this and I just wonder, where we're heading down this path. And I just shake my head back and forth when I see this. Now, I did want to bring up something that I did on Facebook. It's pretty incredible. I'm going to bring up picture one, and what it is it's they had all the riots and the troubles that we were having with the Democrats, and most of them are paid. I know they are. I don't have any proof of that, but I know Soros and all of them. They're the upper B's. They're just saying, no, let's cause trouble for the next 4 to 8 years. Well, that's not the way to do it. So what I did is I made a certificate of participation, and it says, this certificate is proudly presented to Hillary Clinton in recognition of your participation in election for President of the United States, and I presented it on the 11th day of November in 2016. I signed it, New Hampshire State Rep John Burt, and I signed it over on the side. I printed that. And what I said on the top of my Facebook post, I once again saved the day. I gave Hillary Clinton a participation award. The riots will stop and the protesters will now go home. I only put it up as a small joke. And it says, everyone is a winner. No need for the college children to get therapy and take time off from their learning. So I figured, with this certificate, I was going to save everybody. Everybody was going to be happy. Well, guess what? This thing took off. I had over 763 likes, and I had 1,792 shares. And that's when somebody says, I like that on Facebook. I'm going to share it on my page. The most I've ever had was like 130, 140, and I go, oh my God, that's a lot, which it is, it really is. But to have 1,792 shares that I know of, that my little counter keeps track of, is pretty incredible. And the next page, page 2, is the one that I really am impressed about. Rand Paul himself, he ran for president. He's a great guy. I'd love to meet him. I've never met him. He runs for he did run for president, didn't do very well, bailed out pretty quick. I think he bailed out during New Hampshire, if I remember right. But Rand Paul writes, this guy just won the internet. And he posts my certificate of participation. And he, on his page alone, had 2,200 likes just on my picture of my certificate. And I'm like, wow. That's pretty cool. And then I'll show the actual certificate, and it's right there, and you can see it up on the screen behind me. And like I said, it was just supposed to be a joke, and I ended up, as they call it, going viral with it. So I was pretty happy with it, pretty impressed, how it came out. And what I'd like to do is then I'll move to some pictures of, I got them in weird numbers, but I'll call them out. And the first one, let me find it up here so I know what I'm talking about, is 906. I was up in Vermont during leaf peeping. And 906 is a picture of a cupola on this barn. Isn't that something? I mean, I look at that and I go, wow. Just the history in that cupola. I just look at it and just imagine the person that built that. How many years ago was it? It's just so cool to see that. And and it must have, I bet you up on top it had like a point. I guarantee you it did, because I've seen those before that had that. And then what's the next one? 910. Yeah, is the actual picture of the barn. And I mean, the barn that's ready to fall in. This is, like I said, Vermont, where I grew up. Vermont had thousands, tens of thousands of farms at one time. No government involvement. And in the 70s, they started getting involved. The government did. Almost all the farms, I don't think they got 2,000 farms, maybe 1,500. It might be a little more than 2,000 farms left in Vermont. It's just sad looking at it. But there's the picture of the cupola. And then let me bring up, 932. This is another angle. Yeah, and there's that cupola, and you can see more of the barn. Yeah, look at the disrepair the barn is. It's kind of sad looking at it, but it's what it is. It would take a ton of money to try to fix that. And I drive around Vermont, and you see some of it here in New Hampshire. A lot of these barns are just falling in. Once the roof is gone, it doesn't take long, 10, 12 years, and usually it starts falling in. And it just makes me sad when that happens. The next one is, I better mark these off as I go along, or I'm going to mix up, is 937. That's one of the pictures that I took of the foliage that was going on. I think I was up there, if I remember right, it was like October 10th or 11th, somewhere's in there. Just the colors, the picture really doesn't do it justice. I mean, it's just breathtaking, the foliage colors. And where I was, I'll show you, the next picture is 946. I'll show you that, the Bailey Hazen Road, and it's the Mosquitoeville Road. And I was in the town of Mosquitoeville, or the village of Mosquitoeville. And it's next to Boltonville, and then also next to Tickle Naked Pond. And if you Google it, it all exists. Because I got friends down in Texas, and my sisters live out in California, and I talk about this, and I said, oh yeah, I've gone to Tickle Naked. They said, what do you mean Tickle Naked? I said, well, it's Tickle Naked Pond, and you go swimming there. And they go, Tickle Naked, really? And I said, yeah, it's over just past Mosquitoeville. And I said, just before Boltonville. And it's right after Barnett and Peacham and Groton, over in that area. And I just saw that sign, and I said, oh, I got to take a picture of that and bring it in and show everybody. Yeah, so it's a really cute picture. And now the last picture I have, guess where I saw this? Right outside my window, and it's 972. Let me bring it up. And again, that's my fancy camera that I have, and I'm learning so much on it, and I love that camera. And it's the basic, it's not a point and shoot. What is it? I can't remember the name of it, but it's the I forgot what the number was on my camera now. But anyways, this is a hawk, and I'm not sure if it's a Cooper hawk or a female goshawk. If you know what it is, email me, because I'd love to know. And you know, my email is john@burtnh.com, and that's BURTNH like New Hampshire.com. So real easy. If you know what that is, see the beak there? It's a really neat picture. And what I was doing is he was looking toward my chickens, and I told my wife, both my wife and I were sitting right in the house, and we're like, what's he doing? And Phyllis told me that's where she feeds all of her bird feeders into the birds there. And I guess these hawks this time of year loves chipmunks, squirrels, you know, little red squirrels, and they love bird feeders, birds. You know, so if you've got a bird feeder, sometimes a hawk will come down and grab a bird, the poor little thing. I wouldn't think it would be after my chickens because there's just too much food out there right now. You know, it takes quite a bit of work for them to kill a chicken, and I don't think they want to do that. And so that's what it was. And oh, real quick too, is I wanted to bring up about my signs. Did you see all the signs missing? And this is the beginning of November. All the signs missing down 114 from the nursing home red light, as I call it, all the way down to the Irvin in Bedford. A few Democrats on this page, I got sent the link and a picture of it. They were complaining that my big 4x4 signs were the only signs left on that road. Well, you know why? I went and picked up over 13, that's 1,300 signs on that road. Can you imagine? I don't know what that would cost. It must be a ton. You know, so I just looked at that, and so somebody wrote back, well, he has until 10 days, which was a couple Fridays ago, which I did. I left those signs up purposely. I took all the other signs down. I called all the candidates. The Democrats took, you know, the local Democrats here in town, they took their signs. I left them right up by the red light. And a friend of mine called them and said, hey, you know, John Burt picked up all your signs. And another friend helped me because he was the driver. But it was just so funny that they were complaining about my signs. And but it's like, hey, I have a legal right to leave them. But anyways, I want to jump right to that last video, and I'm not going to come back at the end of this show, at the video. But again, you know, I see this video and it just tears me up. It's a tearjerker, but it's a great video. So, you know, I hope you enjoy it, what this 4-year-old girl does, you know, and the heart she has. And what she said at the beginning, too, I think she called him an old guy or something. Wait till you see it. It's great. I can't wait till you see it. All right, until next time, I'll see you next week. Have a good weekend. Bye now.
Not long ago, in a cemetery outside Augusta, Georgia, a loving couple was buried. The wife buried below this white bouquet. The husband buried above in a mound of grief.
Took me totally by surprise.
82-year-old Dan Peterson says after Mary died, he fell into a deep depression. Spent days just staring out at the squirrels.
What were you living for?
I was trying to figure that out, frankly.
You had no purpose?
No.
Were you just waiting to die?
Yeah.
For 6 months, it was just that bad.
And then one day you go to a grocery store.
It all changed inside this Publix.
Dan was nearing the end of the canned vegetable aisle. He hates grocery shopping, and by all accounts, the expression on his face confirmed his aggravation. But that's when this unapproachable man was approached by a 4-year-old girl named Nora Wood.
In the security footage, you can see Nora randomly reaching out to him. Her mom, Tara, says it was quite embarrassing.
She stood up and said, "Hi, old person, it's my birthday today."
Old person?
Old person.
Hi, old person.
She says this to this cranky old man?
Yeah.
And then had the audacity to demand a hug.
I said, a hug? I said, absolutely.
Nora got her hug and then asked her mom to take a picture of her with her new friend.
She zeroed in on him like a missile. And she didn't want anything from him. She just wanted to make him feel loved and give him a hug. And his little lip quivered and he was teared up, and it was just sweet.
And I said, you don't know This is the first time for quite a while that I've been as happy.
That all happened a couple months ago, and his grin has only gotten wider since.
Hi, sweetheart, come in, come in.
Today, Nora visits at least once a week,
So how's my sweetie, huh?
and every time, it's the grocery store all over again.
I knew I was going to get a hug. Oh, it's unbelievable. Totally unbelievable.
It's a bridge.
It's a bridge. Oh, okay.
Dan does have grandkids of his own, but they're all grown and gone. And Nora does have grandparents, but her mom says this is a completely different kind of bond that almost defies explanation.
She fell asleep holding a picture of them. What?
To Dan, it's equally miraculous, but far less mysterious. He believes Nora is quite literally an angel.
Okay. She opened me to a love that I didn't know existed.
Dan, let me ask you. When your wife died, you felt like you didn't have any purpose anymore. Do you feel like you have a purpose now?
Of course. Nora. Watching her grow up. I know I made room in my heart for a lot more.